not again.
Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh and as you know, I am on a mission and this channel is all about real estate, personal finance while getting out of debt. But today I am celebrating that one, we survived 2020, and secondly, this is the debt check-in for the last month of the year. So if that interests you or you want to know more about this community, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I just want to explain how my my year ended so you guys can have a full idea, because I know I've been saying things here and there, but it's never been a concrete answer. So we could start saying off that I am a part-time student and I'm also a part-time real estate agent. March comes in, I'm taking the client, everything's working out, I have things in the pipeline. I get a part-time gig with this bank, which is going to be part of my studies, and I'm a computer information student, or I was, because I graduated this month. I haven't told you guys that either, so I'm done with school. I was supposed to be working for this bank here in Puerto Rico, and that was pretty much going all the way till June, and it lasted one day. I had one day before we went on lockdown. Puerto Rico, we were on a lockdown till May, June-ish. I can't remember exactly the date. Because of that, I lost that job, and because of that, I had a summer internship, a very high-paying summer internship that it became from 10 weeks to 2 weeks, which was not enough money because I was counting on that money to pay one of my student loans from my previous degree. And I'm also cash flowing my college right now. So I was kind of screwed because I didn't have an emergency savings. I pretty much just had like $1,000 in the bank, and as some people suggest, I am against that. Now you see why. But it was just very rough financially, but it was also very, very rough emotionally. I'm the type of person who's literally never home. I'm never home. I like to be doing things, to be locked down literally, that you basically cannot leave the house. It was very, very challenging. I was very depressed. My anxiety was crazy. So no mortgages were being processed, and I really couldn't do any showings, and I really couldn't acquire any listings because people didn't want to sell their houses at that moment, because people were so afraid of COVID, they didn't want anyone coming in, it was a very catch-22 situation. Going back a little bit, by June, July, I did my remote internship from 10 weeks, became 2 weeks, and that was enough money to start the snowball method again and be more aggressive towards my debt. Go to school during the day, and I couldn't find a job that was kind of aligned with that. October, I got my first sale. So in Puerto Rico, sales, they take longer to process. So every purchase that you go through the bank or a lender, we're talking about at least 2 months. So 2 to 3 months, depending on what the situation is and how complicated. Every case is different, so how complicated is the case. Oh, fun fact, I couldn't apply for unemployment. So the CARES Act that was supposed to give money to students, I couldn't apply for that either because this is my second bachelor and I wasn't eligible for it. So yeah, good times. Now you see why I really trust the government. So after that, in October, I got a remote internship, which it was a blessing in disguise because I wasn't really looking out for it. In November, my brother had a bacteria in his stomach and he had to be hospitalized. A few days later, my mom gets a facial paralysis. A few days later, my dad, we had to take him to the ER because we think he might have a heart attack. And they decided to hospitalize him and take him to another hospital that takes care of this type of situations. At the same time, we started feeling sick, and my dad gets his COVID results back, and it turns out that he's COVID positive. Clearly, we all have COVID because we are all having the same systems that you pretty much can tell from the internet. We got better like 3-4 days after that, and I posted a video on that and how it all worked out. My mom feels worse, so we have to take her to the hospital, and she develops pneumonia, and she was there for like 7 days, and then my dad was in another hospital. So my dad was in the hospital for a month, and then he had to have another procedure. We ended up all at home finally after that, and then recently my mom had to be taken to the hospital again because she didn't feel well and she was sick. So they did a CT scan. Turns out she had diverticulitis, I think that's what it's called, and she had to have an emergency surgery. So she was in the hospital again for 11 more days, and now we're all back home. But I think the point that I'm trying to come across is that I haven't had time for anything. Like, I haven't had the emotional the strength, the physical strength, any type of I don't even know. Like, YouTube has definitely been an experience for me that I can just kind of like pour my heart out, and I hope it comes out that I am definitely trying to get better at it and show you guys the journey, because it's not easy, it's not fun most of the times, it's part of life, and sometimes life sucks. But I'm proud of these small things I did. I took real estate more seriously, you know, and that's something I'm going to develop more in the next year. And at the same time, I have a lot of great things that are coming next year. And so yes, that was pretty much my year. But to wrap it up, with all that being said, I was able to make progress on my student loans. The amount I paid off on my student loans this whole year, mostly only working like 5 months out of the year, was $6,600. I'm really hoping that they're gonna follow through with the zero interest that we're having until May, hopefully like June, May. That would be great, because that's enough time with everything that's coming up and aligning in January and February. That is enough time for me to pay off 2 of my student loans, which are the lowest amounts. Right now, my student loans are sitting at $143,000. So what I'm trying to say was this whole ridiculous speech that I've been trying to say is that, one, definitely small progress is better than no progress. 2, it's okay to take breaks, especially when it comes to your mental health. 3, start something new. I think that the biggest blessing out of this whole situation has been YouTube. YouTube has helped me get clients. YouTube has helped me find a community. YouTube has made me be accountable. It's been such a freaking blessing and such a great opportunity just to kind of like escape. So I'm thankful mostly for YouTube. I'm thankful for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of this community. I'll see you next year.